Welcome to the Doc Brice Show, bringing you the latest music, up-to-date news, and engaging conversation for your listening pleasure. I'm coming. All right. How's everybody doing out there? This is Doc Brice, the host of the Doc Brice Show. And you know what? Listen, we've done other shows in the past. We've had, different guests on, but we've never really done like a systematic show. Okay. Like, you know what I mean by systematic? I mean that, we had season 1, season 2, episode 1, episode 2. I kind of just did a show whenever I felt like doing the show. You know what I'm saying? But now we're a little more formatted, a little more structured. So I'm going to say, hey, listen, for all those that have watched the Doc Brice Show before, welcome back and welcome to the Doc Brice Show. Episode 1, season 1. And I'm here with my dude. Haven't known each other that long, but you know what I'm saying? Like I could tell his vibe. I could tell, I had that gift of discernment. So I can, real recognize real, good recognize good. So this brother is very powerful. And sometimes, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you can be amongst people and you don't even know how powerful and how great they really are. And you know what the thing is? And this is a testament to you. You're humble. And that's the thing. Humility is everything. But anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Nathan Davis. What's good, brother? How you doing, man?
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. So, listen, just want to kind of get into, who you are and just really have some good conversation for our listeners. So, Tell us a little bit about who is Nathan Davis.
So, Nathan's a few different people.
Okay.
We split personalities.
Okay.
You have the educated side.
Sure.
Who's been in education since the 90s. You have the creative side who collects art around the world. Then you have that other side that got into the entertainment business as a writer and a photographer because I wanted to be seen and get to know people.
Absolutely. Okay. So now with that being said, okay, we got to break that down a little bit. Okay. So let's just start with, I want to start with where are you from? Let's just start there. Where was Nathan? You know what I'm saying? Where did you, where your roots come from? You from New York, New Jersey, Delaware? Like, where are you from?
I'm from Jersey. As they say, my people, my dad is from Ocean City, New Jersey.
Okay.
I actually didn't know there was Ocean City, Maryland until I was an adult.
Oh, really?
That's all I knew was Ocean City, New Jersey. My mother is from very small backwoods area of North Carolina.
Okay.
But I grew up in Ocean City.
Okay. All right, but you grew up in Ocean City.
Correct.
Okay, I got you. Okay. Now, tell me, what was Ocean City like? Because you grew up on that's a beach town, right?
Beach town. I was 2 blocks from the bay and 4 blocks from the beach at one time.
Oh, okay.
And then at one time we moved next behind Wonderland Pier, which put us right next to the beach.
Wow. Okay. So you, it's fair to say that you were a beach kid. I'm not going to say beach.
Oh, no, definitely.
Some people say beach bum. I'm not.
I was a beach kid. I didn't realize once again until I was an adult. Every day I went to the beach in the summer.
Wow.
I realized as an adult that there was actually a cheap way for my parents to entertain us.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we would go to my grandmom's. She would wrap the sandwiches up in wax paper. She took us down to the beach either before her soaps, after the soaps.
Okay.
And we sat there until my granddad picked us up. But you figured it was free. When they came to check the beach tags, we all jumped in the water.
Wow.
When the beach tag person left, we came out the water.
I got you.
So minus my grandmother having us have lunch.
Okay.
That's all she had to come out of pocket.
Was that? You know what? I went to Ocean City Beach. I think I've probably been there maybe 2 or 3 times, right? But the last time I got there, I remember the first time I got there and it was like, oh, you got to pay to get on the beach. I'm like, what is that? We ain't pay to get on the beach. In New York, we ain't pay to get on no beach. I'm not paying to get on no beach like that.
Well, I've never paid in Ocean City either, but.
Oh, okay. All right. So we just was on the beach. But then when they was like, yo, listen, you got to show a pay like things like $5 a person. I'm like, yo, come on, you serious?
Yes. You got to buy that tag either for the day. I guess a week for the summer. My grandmother had one. She was too old to jump in the water. But the grandchildren, we used to just jump in the water.
Wow. And you actually, I don't understand that. Now, what's the difference between that beach and Atlantic City Beach? I mean, I do know that the alcohol is the defining, factor. But what, as far as the beach quality, like?
So I'm a little partial.
Okay.
Ocean City is a much nicer town. So when you look at Ocean City to Atlantic City, it's not, I don't think you can compare it.
Right.
So I didn't go to Ocean City Beach because I can't say it was nicer. I went to Ocean City Beach because it was down the street.
It was down the street, right? So it was easy for you.
It was easy. I mean, I could walk.
Okay, all right. So as a kid, how was life in Ocean City? Like, what was it? It was kind of carefree a little bit, and then
very carefree. Didn't lock your doors.
Oh wow.
Walk around. No crime to speak of. As you said, no alcohol.
Okay.
The wintertime, it was empty.
Empty
because everyone left.
Everyone left.
So you knew the families. A lot of the families were the same families.
Right.
Been there for generations.
Right.
So it was nice.
Wow.
But as I got older, I recognized also that Ocean City was not the most diverse town.
Sure ain't.
So I had told my wife when we got married, I would not raise my children in Ocean City.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Because of the lack of diversity.
Because of the lack of the diversity. Yes. Right. But let me now, you went to Ocean City High School?
No, I actually moved out of Ocean City in third grade.
Okay.
Continued to spend my summers in Ocean City until sixth grade-ish. But I had moved out to Egg Harbor Township, which was only 10, 15 minutes out.
EHT.
Yes.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You know that, yes.
EHT. All right. So then you went to Egg Harbor Township. You graduated there.
Correct.
Okay. So what type of student were you? Like, were
Average.
you the... Okay.
I'm straight to the point.
Average,
lazy at sometimes.
Okay.
In high school. And if I can jump forward.
Sure.
When I was graduating, my father said, you're going to go to community college because you're not going to waste my money.
Right.
Took me 4 years to get out because I was stubborn.
Wow.
One semester I took tennis. That was it.
Wow.
And my father said, you're going to finish.
Right.
And I said, no, I wasn't. So it was a pissing match.
Right.
He won. When I went away to Tuskegee University.
HBCU. Okay.
HBCU. I was going yelling, but I don't want to mess up the volume.
Okay, absolutely.
TU. But that was a nice version of it.
Right.
I became a very good student.
Okay.
So then I was a extremely good student at Tuskegee.
Okay.
Because I found myself with professors that cared about me.
Okay. So do you think that it was, so, and I'm assuming that EHT, Egg Harbor Township, for those, that was a little more diverse. Is that correct than Ocean City?
Well, that's not saying much.
There was a difference in diversity, though. It had to be.
True,
right?
true. So when I graduated from Egg Harbor Township, 25, maybe 30 at the most, black and brown kids. So we're not talking about overly diverse.
Oh, okay. Right.
But Ocean City
had zero.
Pretty much everyone that was black was my relative.
Got you.
Or they knew my family.
I got you.
So it was a much smaller number in Ocean City.
I got you.
But Egg Harbor Township was nowhere near as diverse as it is today.
I got you. All right. So now you're about to graduate. You graduate high school. You mentioned, a pissing match, right? It's something else because my son is going through that, and I'm sure there are others that have children. Okay, yes, right. So there seems to be, once my son, he has this swagger about him. He's got a little shorty. So it's like, when I tell him things, he's like, what? I said, so I got to check him like, yo, don't even say what like that. Like, don't even come at me. Cause I feel like he's, he feel like he might be more man than me. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. Like youth is rebellious. So were you that rebellious or did you just test the limits, but then you would get back in your place?
No. Look, I'm older. I didn't test the limits.
Okay.
I grew up a child.
Okay.
I grew up a child of the 70s and the 80s. You would have got beat.
Absolutely.
So when I say it was a pissing match, I thought I would go to ACC for 1 year.
Okay.
And leave. Okay. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
My father said you will go there till you finish.
Wow.
So once again, I thought I would do 1 year. Then I said I'd do 2 years.
Wow.
And he said, you still didn't finish. So now we're on year 3. I'm like, I'll go play tennis. He said, you didn't finish. So at this point, I'm like, well, damn. I guess I didn't win the match.
Yeah.
So I did 4, and actually I'm glad I did 4 because it gave me a chance to mature, which I needed.
Right.
And then looking back at it, the people I met when I got to Tuskegee, I would not have met if I had gotten
If you
it
got
2
there
years
earlier,
ago.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So now it's funny because that's a similar story for me, right? And I think I tell people like I tried this school thing for many years, and I was just the type of person. And you tell me if you had that same thought that. You know what? This way is tried and true, but you know what? Nah, I'm gonna develop my own way. So was that kind of your thought a little bit too? It
was kind of, you know what? I think I thought I was smarter than I was.
Okay.
And I really thought I was old enough that I could do what I wanted.
You do what you want. You know what I'm saying?
But as a grown man now, I realize what I was saying to my father was, you grown, but I'm going to tell you how you're going to spend your money. And in actuality, my father was right. My father did not pay for me to go to college when I went to Tuskegee. Right. Because he told me after I did not do those 2 years, I'm not paying because you messed up. My mother, and they are married, my mother paid for me to go to school because my father said, you didn't do what I told you to do.
Wow. Okay.
And they are married in the same house.
Right.
So it was like my mother, no, he told me, and I respect him for it. Right. He told me to do it. I said no.
You said no.
And he said, I'm done.
Right. You know what it is? But see, I think, because my father didn't pay for nothing of my schooling. He told us straight up he wasn't paying for nothing. All he did was play around in high school, and you ain't going to mess my money up. Straight up.
Similar to what?
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up, just like that, like that. In fact, we went to Catholic school up until 8th grade, and he said, "You know what? I'm tired of y'all messing my money up. Y'all going to public school."
Yes.
We wanted to go to all these other little private schools because that's what we've been in. He was like, "Nah, he ain't messing my money up."
Yeah. So no, I mean, as a grown man, I respect exactly what my father did,
and I do too.
And I do the same thing with my kids now.
You know what? I'm gonna try it with Jason. I said to him, you know what? If you owe a certain amount, we'll half it. I'll pay half. I promise you. You fail a semester, that deal is off the table, and you're on your own. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Straight up, you're on your own.
Wait, can I tell you a funny story?
Absolutely.
So we talk about college. Last year, the Freaknik documentary came out.
Oh, snap.
I was a little disappointed I wasn't in it.
Okay.
I was looking for me. I need to watch it again very soon.
Okay.
But my last semester, which had been Freaknik 94 year.
Okay.
I was a history major. I needed to pass my 400 level psychology class, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
To graduate.
Okay.
I had a project. In order to finish the project, I had to do calculus to do whatever I needed to do. I never took calc.
Okay, wow.
So when I went to the professor and said, I don't know how to do it,
right,
she held her stomach and started laughing at me. So I found a young lady in my area to help me the day before it was due.
Sure enough.
But it came a time where I had to finish it, and Freaknik was that weekend. I actually opted to go to Freaknik 94 and finish my project Sunday night when I got back to campus, because I want to make sure I got to Freaknik.
Right.
So we talking about failing, because I know what you're saying. If I had not gotten back in time from Freaknik,
right,
I would have never graduated. Because my project would not have been done.
Wow.
And my neighbor helped me finish it.
Right.
Not because I was lazy, but I did not know how to do the calculus.
Right.
To complete it. In today's world, I could have done it on Google.
Right.
But back then,
yeah.
Oh, no.
You had to
know the calculus.
You had to get
it done.
Or like, I know when I went to Lincoln for the little bit of time I went to, and then even when I went to other schools, and I hate to say this because I'm much older now, but at that time, I promise you, I'd go find me a shorty. I'm just being honest. I find me a shorty that can help me out, you know what I'm saying? And help me with some answers or whatever like that. And that's being able, that's using the talents like the gift of gab and to be able to talk for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying?
I laugh because when I was in college, light skin was in.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
You talking about the 90s. Christopher Williams still has
Oh, yeah. I'll be sure, baby.
I'll be sure.
On,
so you take, and I know it's going out there. You take the 90s. I'm light skinned in Alabama.
Oh, And you got an accent too?
And they knew I was from Jersey.
Killing them.
They thought Atlantic City was like the size of Chicago.
Absolutely, with the casinos too.
So they were like, you live near the casino?
And Trump was revered
was
amongst the culture then, right?
Tyson was out, yes.
Right, come on now.
So it was very easy for me
Sure.
to get help.
Sure, absolutely.
Because I was in.
Yeah. Oh, he light skinned. He light skinned. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Light skin was in, man. They're not in like that no more. I know, no disrespect.
No.
I'm just being honest.
No. I definitely want to get that now.
Oh, okay.
I acknowledge that.
Good stuff. All right. So you finish up at community college.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Tuskegee. You graduate. You graduate with your what?
My bachelor's degree in history.
Okay, in history. So I have two questions for you. Mm-hmm. The first one is, why history? Because you don't really see a lot of... I tell you, I saw a phenomenon the other day. Mm-hmm. I mean, actually 2 weeks ago. And people thought I was crazy for this. But honestly, I saw it on TV. I never saw an African-American man with a Trump hat. I've never seen that. I didn't see it. I never seen it in person. Mm-hmm. I saw it in person. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, so that's a phenomenon, right? Okay. So my question to you is, why history? Because, like, what you didn't say African-American history. You just said history.
And actually, because Tuskegee did not have a African-American history major. So when I graduated from Carver Township, I told you there's very few Black people.
Sure.
I didn't read any books in high school except the books I had to read.
Okay, yeah.
When I graduated, I picked up the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Got you.
As I'm looking at the footnotes, I start to see books on the Black Panthers, history, whatever else it might be.
Sure.
I then start to read those books at the library. I then start to buy those books. So by the time I get to maybe my second year at community college, I now want to know me.
Right.
And not that it was because my dad went to Howard, my mom went to A&T.
Okay.
A&T, yeah.
So you come from educated.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
My mom's dad had gone to college.
Okay.
So we're talking about generation.
Generation, education, yeah.
I mean, even like my mom went to school with Jesse Jackson.
Oh,
New Jesse.
Wait, you talking about Jesse like Rainbow Coalition?
Yes, my mom and Jesse. So I met Jesse actually at the Million Man March, the 10-year reunion. And I threw out that, my mother. And of course, he looked at me.
Okay.
And then when I said her name, he paused. Mm-hmm. So my mom and Jesse knew each other.
Okay.
My dad went to Howard.
Okay.
Knew Thurgood Marshall, had done some of his test trials for him. Wow. So I come from people of that background. My mom was at the boycott down in North Carolina at the day before the picture.
Okay.
Where you see the stuff on their head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being put on their head. But my parents never really taught me African-American and Black, African history, whatever you want to call it. So I went into the history because I wanted to know about me.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And now I have a wall maybe from here to the end of where you are, a little short, of just pretty much history books at my house.
Wow.
Because I love history.
Wow.
And I think a lot of times when we talk about melanated people in general, if they had a better understanding of history, I don't think we would have as many problems in the world. And I think you would have a lot more people, their self-esteem would be in a different place.
So, you know what? So then, I got some questions on that. So, but we're going to get there. So, all right. So history, right?
Yes.
But also, I also want, because we talk about Tuskegee right now. Mm-hmm. What was Tuskegee like? Because I mean, listen, I'm a guidance counselor, right? So, I'm always encouraging all kids, okay, and let me repeat, all kids to go to college.
Yes.
Okay. Because to me, that is your freedom, education, knowledge. Okay. That's number one. And there's no such thing as, college is not for everyone. That's my theory. Mm-hmm. Okay. And my theory was because, you done got me in school for like 15, 13 years. How you going to tell me I'm not built for school, but you got me in school? So anyway, that's just my own little theory. You know what I'm saying? But I encourage people, and then I encourage people to even look into the HBCUs. Okay, to find out about the history.
I agree.
So did you learn that there, or?
Yeah. So interesting thing. I went to Tuskegee because my father would not let me go to Howard.
Is there a reason why?
He didn't like the idea of the size of DC. And he said, coming from where I grew up, it would be a huge culture shock. I understand that.
Right.
I wanted to go to Morehouse, but it was all men.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Spelman was across the street.
Across the street, though.
If I had known, it would have been a nice option. So watching Different World, so I want to go to HBCU.
Yeah, shout out. And again, I'm not agreeing with all. Not to cut you though, Nate. I'm not agreeing with all the stuff that Bob Cosby was accused of, and the I Spy and all that Spanish Fly stuff. That I don't know if you ever saw the Spanish Fly routine, but yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a little crazy. But anyway, but I have to give him his props though, because a lot of kids, including my brother. Shout out to my brother. He went to college just because of Different World. He was like, yo, that's what I want to do.
Oh, no, that was my driving force.
I think that was a big thing for young African-American kids to say, oh, I can go to college.
Yes.
I can. You know what I'm saying? So you saw Different World. You said, okay, this is what I want to do.
Yes. So I went to a college...
Fair,
thank you. Because I'm struggling with that.
I'm sorry.
And there was a guy, I don't even know if he's still alive, Erskine McKinnon.
Okay.
And I remember this from 92. Erskine was from Tuskegee.
Okay.
He said to me and my boy, I won't be in town. If you guys want to come to Tuskegee, I'll leave the key. You can stay in my apartment. Check the campus out.
Wow.
To me, which was unbelievable because this man did not know me.
Right.
And this was the fair that Atlantic City ran every year. I go to Tuskegee, never saw the campus. Because, we don't have the internet now to look this stuff up.
Right.
I'm expecting a different world.
Wow.
I get down there, it's not a different world.
It's not a different world.
Tuskegee was not glamorous. Tuskegee was not fancy. Tuskegee was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life.
Wow.
Tuskegee gave me professors that cared about me.
Right.
That talked to me the way they needed to talk to me.
Sure.
I was across the street from the Tuskegee Experiment Building.
Really?
So I could see it I didn't know what it was until I was gone because there was no sign on the building. I was walking distance to the George Washington Carver tombstone.
That's all in Tuskegee?
That's in Tuskegee. I was also right behind it, Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington's house. Across the street is Lionel Richie's grandmama. Around the corner somewhere is the Commodores. Lionel Richie's grandmom is still there.
They are from Tuskegee.
One of my friends rented one of the Commodores' home. So between all that was there. Tom Joyner's family is in Tuskegee.
Wow. I'm
going to school with Louis Farrakhan's daughter. I'm there with D from What's Happening, who's at the vet school,
D,
which is across the street.
D,
I just missed the Super Soaker guy who came before me.
Super Soaker?
The guy that made the Super Soaker.
Made the Super?
It's a black man from Tuskegee.
Oh, wow.
Student from Tuskegee.
Wow.
So I'm there with these people along with other folks.
Okay.
My air conditioner barely worked in the dorm.
You know what? So you had to, okay? Because I'm just thinking about this. Tuskegee is on the way to Montgomery, ain't it?
Yes. So Montgomery's in one direction, and Auburn is the other direction.
I'm sorry, Montgomery. No, Montgomery is on one direction, and Selma is the other.
Selma's up, but Auburn is the other.
Right.
So I'm kind of in the middle.
You're in the middle,
yes.
right? See,
yes.
Okay. No, because I went to Selma last year.
Oh, okay.
So I went
to Selma down there
I went across the bridge, across the bridge, and went to Montgomery, and we passed Tuskegee on the way, and we should have stopped.
Tuskegee is a small town, and if anybody asks me, I tell them, your kids won't have the glitz and glamour. It's not fancy.
Sure.
And I would do it again today.
Wow.
If Tuskegee called me today and said, you can come here and be a professor,
you would do it.
I would take the job.
Wow.
I loved it.
Wow.
Loved it.
Wow.
When I found out one of my professors, who was my favorite professor, died, I cried like he was a family.
Wow.
And it would be Mr. Tolan. Frank Tolan, loved that man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Loved him.
Wow. You know, the reason why I said you had to have it because Alabama is another level of heat that I've never experienced. Okay. I'm just going to be honest. I never had sunburn until I went.
It's a different spot. So, and then also Going with the Wind. The house from Going with the Wind is in Tuskegee.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes. So Tuskegee's hot. It would be over 100 degrees. And I remember trying to walk through the yard or take a shortcut in no trees and thinking I'm going to pass out while I'm trying to walk to class.
I mean, it's hot. It's hot. I mean, it's almost like you cooking, and what I'm serious, it's like you're being cooked, yo. And I think what really like hurt me about that journey was because it was a pilgrimage for me and my family. My whole family went, right? And what really bothered me and stuck with me is that you had thousands of slaves out there in that land.
Yes.
All day long. Sun up, sun down.
And I will tell you this, being a history major and being in Alabama gave me an understanding of what my forefathers went through.
Yes.
Excuse me.
That's all right.
Because I'm there with proper clothing.
Right.
Proper shoes.
Right.
And I'm out there about to pass out.
Wow.
So I said, if I'm passing out, walking to class, what was it like to do 12, 14 hours?
Exactly.
Picking cotton.
And you can actually literally see the cotton.
Oh, you can still see the cotton
coming up from the road.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, man. So what? All right. So, I mean, so you're right there in the belly of history.
Yes.
Right. So then, all right. So you loved it. Yeah, it was a great experience for Tuskegee. You graduate with your degree in history.
Yes.
Then you come back home to Jersey.
To become a teacher because I had not applied to grad school.
Okay.
My father said, if you don't get the job, you go to grad school. I wanted to study under Militaire Santé at Temple. I got the job.
Okay.
So then that took me off the path of getting my doctorate in African studies.
Okay, so that's what you, so had you not got that job, that's what you would have been.
I wanted to do that, get the doctorate, write books, and lecture.
Wow.
That's where I saw myself.
Okay. And well, I always say God's plan is never our plan, but God's speed is never our plan either. So I still think that you're still going to do all that.
I do. Actually, I looked at a doctorate in African studies when I was coming out of Ghana a few weeks ago to see if that was still a possibility.
Wow. Okay. And you went to Ghana.
Speaking of history, I went to Ghana, Senegal, and Gambia. And I went to the family. I went to visit Kunta Kinte's family in Gambia.
Wow.
So his family's still there.
His family's still Kunta Kinte?
Kunta Kinte's family's still in the village.
Wow.
The village moved up maybe 200 yards to the left. I went to the dungeon in the middle of the water where Kunta Kinte was held.
Really? Wow.
And that was an experience.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Wow. And see, you know what? I often, listen, when I was a kid growing up, I can promise you the worst time that we ever had on television was when Roots played.
Yes.
I feel like Roots was on for like a month. You know what I'm saying? That's what it felt like. You know what I'm saying?
2 weeks.
But it probably was 2 weeks, right?
It was long.
It was long. And Shaka Zulu, bro. Like
yes.
Shaka Zulu but it wasn't that bad like Roots.
And I've been to Shaka Zulu's.
You've been to Shaka Zulu?
I've been to where Shaka Zulu was killed on the stone.
Wow.
And I've been to his village.
Wow.
And been with his people.
I didn't even know until I became an adult that Shaka Zulu was like, I don't know why I thought like it was like a I don't know, some type of, I'm telling you, I didn't really care about that stuff when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I was like, yo, where's Knight Rider? Or matter of fact, where's What's Happening? Ain't nobody want to watch no Kunta Kinte or Kizzy, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But now, I tell you right now, I'm about to, I feel like all African-American children, particularly that, but all children, I think they should watch that.
I agree.
Because that tells you everything about how, our experience here was at some time ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and actually, so next June, I'm going back to Ghana, and I'm hoping to take some people with me. Throw that out there to the people listening.
Absolutely.
And I know we don't have a lot of time, but I also lived overseas. And I share that because in America, you're shown a picture.
Okay.
That picture, when you get there, It's not always accurate.
It's not always.
And that picture might not even be close to being accurate.
Wow.
But people see it and go, no, that's it. And I'm like, that's not it.
Wow.
And I've traveled to somewhere around 40 countries. So I can tell you that I've been to quite a few countries that do not look like that once you get there, like they look on the American media.
Wow. Okay. So African, I want to go to Africa. I do.
You can go with me next year.
I'm afraid of flight though. See, because it's like
They
what?
got stuff for that.
It's 18 hours?
No. You can get to Ghana in 8.
I can do 8 hours.
You can do 8.
I could do 8.
They got pills for that.
I could do 8. I could do 8.
8's not bad.
Yeah. I'm not sleeping on no plane though. That's a wrap. That's never happening.
I'll sleep as soon as they turn the engine on.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, because you comfy, 40 countries. Come on now, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not me. But all right, so all right, so you get back to Jersey, you become a teacher, but you had another career.
Yes.
So tell the ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, when
the other one's more exciting.
When I heard about what this brother, I mean, because we had supervision, right? And for all those that know, you mind if I tell them? Or for all of that know, Mr. Nathan Davis, he is an active employee contractor for the Four Walls. So we thank him for his service, number one. So we had him for supervision because he missed the one on Monday. So we had him on Saturday, right? So we had our we had our group supervision, and we're talking, and then he mentioned something, and I was like, wait a minute, hold up. And then we got to talking. Yo, wait till he tells you all the things that he used to do. This is for all the hip hop heads out there. The people that love hip hop, the people that love the culture. Wait till you hear. So you come back, you got a degree. Yes. Okay, so I already know you was out there around a lot of people because first of all, you were young and you had the degree. And even at that time when you graduate, that light skin thing was still in. You know what I'm saying?
It was strong.
It was still in.
I wrote as long as I could.
So now tell the people what it is that you did, please.
So to jump forward, at nighttime, I don't even know what channel it used to be.
Okay.
They used to show those videos, the commercials of parties.
Right.
And you had all these people at parties and they're jumping up and down.
So I know in New York it was called Video Music Box.
Yes,
I don't know if you got that.
Well, we did.
But you did get video. Okay.
Yes. So you have all that going on.
Okay.
So 1, 2 in the morning, I'm up watching it. And I said, I should be there. And I would check my mailbox, but nobody sent me an invitation to the next party.
Right.
So I said, how can I get to be there? You got to realize I'm in my 20s.
Right.
So 20-year-olds do what 20-year-olds do.
That's right.
So my dad was in photography. I had a camera. I had done some pictures. So I called one venue and I lied. And I said I was taking pictures of a concert for whatever my lie was.
Right.
But then I realized I could get paid for the pictures.
Right.
Someone locally who knew my family asked me to write some articles. I wrote articles when I was in community college.
Okay.
So I had done some writing.
Done some writing, right. Okay.
But I was told by my professor there I couldn't write.
Okay.
And I'm sure I had more people read my stuff than his. But jumping forward, and I say that, folks, because I was told I could not be a writer, and I've been quite successful as a writer.
Right.
So then I realized I could write. And then I realized I could get paid for writing and taking pictures.
Wow. Okay.
So I started off wanting to write political pieces, cultural, historical pieces.
Right.
Nobody would buy my pieces.
Wow.
So I wrote articles about parties. I wrote party articles about my trips to Cancun, my trips to Jamaica. And I found out I could get paid $1,000 for writing an article on a Friday night about what I had done last week in Jamaica.
Wow.
Then I found if I took pictures, could make $1,000 writing, get a couple $100 to take pictures.
He was hustling.
So I was hustling. Now, coming out of college, I was making $27,500 as a teacher.
But at that time, $27,500 wasn't that bad.
Which was not bad.
That wasn't terrible.
But now I can make $1,000 on a Friday night.
On top of that.
Legally.
Right, on top of that. Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
So somehow I got connected with the Source.
Now, and ladies and gentlemen, let me just say, this is the Source magazine.
#1 hip hop magazine in the world. At this time. I ended up writing for them. During that time, I got hooked up. One of my boys couldn't do something, so I did a documentary for Korea.
Wow.
So they did a hip hop documentary with me. They came to my job. We did that.
Wow.
I started writing further articles. So I've interviewed people. I should have been the first person to interview Little Bow Wow.
Okay.
But at that time, I was doing some stuff for Rap Sheets, which was a hip hop newspaper.
Okay.
They didn't want a kid in the magazine, in the magazine, whatever.
Wow.
So I've done from R. Kelly to Jay-Z to Sister Soldier, Steve Harvey, Talib Kweli.
You did Kweli?
MOP.
Okay. Oh, Emma. Wow. No fame in
I
there?
mean, I would have to go Nappy Roots.
Now, and just
Kevin Hart. Yes.
So this is just to kind of just give a little clarity. When you said you done them, pause, but no, you just got to pause that. You got to pause that though. You know what I'm saying? But what you're saying is that you interviewed them. Right?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, it depends because you have like Akinelli, that was a 30-minute interview.
Okay.
That became a 8-9 hour interview.
Right, because Akinelli liked to party from what
Akinelli's like, okay, we're done. Meet me on the corner in an hour.
And come chill
with me. And then for like the next 8 hours, you're with me.
You just come chill with me.
Same thing. Kevin Hart was longer.
Right.
Different people were longer.
Right.
Some people was, there's no way you would teach you. Let's go hang out like Major Figures out of Philly.
Major Figures, yeah, Ram Squad. Okay, yeah.
So Major Figures was done on the steps of, was it Gilly's mom's house or something? On the steps.
Wow.
While they were doing their thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Right.
So I have some experiences where they were just on a whole different level. Like Mary J. Blige did a commercial with Mary J. Blige.
Not the Burger King or the Kentucky Fried Chicken one, right?
No. We actually did a one for Bermuda or something. I never saw it.
Okay.
But we actually did a commercial. I never actually watched it.
Okay. Because she I forget what, I got to Google it. She did like a KFC or was a Burger King commercial.
No, none of them. So, I mean, I've done a lot of work with a lot of people, met a lot of people.
Wow.
Some I have my favorites.
Okay.
Who I like in the entertainment business. Then I have some people I could tell you were not the nicest people at all.
Right, I got you. So let me ask you now, see, and being in that world, like, so that was always my dream, right? Well, I don't say always my dream, but for a long time, like, I wanted to be in music. Like, that's what I worked hard every night, I promise you, every night. When I got off work at my group home job, I'd just be practicing making beats like 4 or 5 in the morning, right? But as I look back on it now, I do thank God that I didn't go down that road, right? And the reason why is because when I see the way the music world is now, or how it's, I can't even say how it is now, because I'm sure it's always been, right? But I've changed, right? So my revelation and my maturity has changed. So when I look and see what that world is, I could not survive in that.
So it's interesting because you have what you see on TV.
Right.
And then you have what's off of TV.
What's off TV, sure.
Like I'll share, I've been to breakfast with R. Kelly and Jay-Z.
Not during that time.
Not during that time.
Not during the time as far as the best of both worlds?
No, actually it's when it came out.
Okay.
So it was a breakfast with Jay-Z, R. Kelly, Puffy, Angie Martinez, Funkmaster Flex, Ozzy Brothers. We talking about maybe.
Oh, wow. So, okay, this is big time. Right.
And I got lucky once again because I'm dealing with Def Jam. Shayna Fleischman, who I think is the president of Def Jam.
Okay.
For whatever reason, she liked me.
Okay. Well, just again.
She invited me to, you're right. She invited me to every event.
Wow.
So if Jay-Z had a party that night.
You was there.
She called me. Okay. If Cam had a party, she called me.
Okay.
Jada would call me and invite me to all the parties. She would call me the next day, check on me.
Wow.
She'd give me information. Good people.
Wow.
Same thing with like G-Unit. For whatever reason, G-Unit liked me.
Okay.
So I would spend time at G-Unit meeting 50, very nice guy.
Right.
25 Cent, his son at that time.
Okay.
Very nice guys.
Right.
So some people they were attracted to you for whatever reason, wanted to party, wanted to hang out.
Right.
Some people maybe came by the house.
Right.
Some people, whatever.
Sure.
And some of them would actually give shots out to my students.
That's dope.
I would do interviews, and they would give shots out to my students.
That's dope.
And then I would play it back to my students for their birthdays or whatever else. And that was my way of trying to get back to the kids.
That's dope. That's dope. So in other words, what you're saying is that even though there was some of that, and I'll just say foolishness going on, there were some nice people and some good people.
And it was. And the thing is, though, when you get to a party, number one, you don't go by yourself.
Right.
But you know when it's time for you to leave.
Right.
Or you don't go through that door.
Right.
Because behind that door
is a party that you may might be life changing.
And I'll say some of the stuff that people talk about now with Puffy, whatever artist. Stuff's been going on for years. It's not new.
It's not new, right?
It's just if from the outside, if you've never been in the industry, you might not have seen it. But people in the industry have known about multiple people who have done different things that don't come out to light.
And that's why I say I thank God for it. Even though, it wasn't my plan, you know what I'm saying, it was God's plan, but I wouldn't have survived in that. Like, because that's stuff like that is not, I don't want to be around, I can't be around people like that. It's not a disrespect. It doesn't mean that they're not good people or whatever the case may be, but it's just not me.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So that would have turned me off. And then I would have felt, like I would have had to make a choice between, and I don't know, most people haven't seen this movie, but it was a movie called Oh God Book 2. It was a movie back with George Burns, and it was this guy, very old, yes. Right? Came on HBO, and what it was this music guy, he wanted to be a star, and he, God didn't make him a star, but the devil, which was George Burns too, was like, yo, I can make you the biggest star. Yes. And he did. Yes. And he liked it at first.
It's a different world.
But then he was like, he wanted to get rid of it. And the devil didn't want to let him go.
But you know what, Jay? A lot of the celebrities, whatever you want to call them, they want a normal life.
That's what I'm saying, right?
They want normalcy. Like, for instance, I can tell you Buffy the Body.
Okay.
Remember Buffy?
I think I do, yeah.
Buffy was the one that also was in, she was in a movie. She was, I forget the name of the movie, but ATR, I think, with T.I.
Okay.
She's the first one they say came out with the BBL.
Okay. Oh, I got you.
Buffy's cool as hell.
Right.
Buffy was the type of person that would sit on the couch and watch ESPN with you.
Right. Okay.
There's some other ones, Isaac Hayes.
Okay.
Isaac Hayes he was a shy guy to a point.
Wow.
Isaac did not like all the glitz and the glamour when I was around. Now, granted, I met him later in his life.
Right.
But he was very mellow. Down to earth.
Right.
You meet some really nice ones that are really good people that really, they got talent.
Right.
But they really don't want to be out there in the limelight. They're on the stage, they get off, they're done.
That's it.
That's it.
They want to be done. Right.
And then they want to sit down and talk.
Right.
And they want to hang out.
Right.
John Witherspoon, they want to play pops.
Yeah.
Cool,
bang. Right,
that is one of the nicest people
rest in peace,
I've ever met.
Yeah, wow.
Extremely nice guy.
Wow.
So you meet some really nice people.
Right.
And then you meet some other people that are just nasty.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's just good and bad. So I'm sure, like I said, I mean, for me, it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? So, but okay. So now how long did you do this for?
I think about 12 years.
Wow. So
I tell people, anyone for about 12 years in music, I interviewed them. It got to the point where I got selective who I was going to interview.
Oh, you was getting bougie with it.
I got a little bougie with it because at the time I'm doing Source, I'm doing Rap Sheets, I'm doing Rap Pages.
Okay.
I'm doing other publications.
Okay.
I'm doing radio shows. I'm going up to Shade 45 on there doing that. I'm getting calls to go to parties. I actually had G-Unit was supposed to do my bachelor party for me as a gift.
Wow.
But we couldn't work it out.
Got you.
Got invited to Eric Sermon's house.
E-double.
To his house. So you start to get invited to homes, you start getting invited to parties. It puts you differently. So, if Eric Sermon is asking me to come to the house, or there's people saying, come to the house, do I really want to interview someone that's a no-name?
Right. I got you.
So I got a little bougie, but I had a chance to do like Baby Sham when he came up through reggae.
Okay.
Lil Wayne early on when he was young.
Okay.
So I did get a chance to work with some people early on.
Wow.
Before they blew up.
Wow.
Which was also nice.
Wow.
And then being schooled by people in the industry like 8-Ball and MJG.
Okay.
Because
they sing one of my favorite songs by them which is That Girl. They sample Stevie Wonder's joint, but I love that song.
So to talk to people like that's on a different level. To get a chance to interview Luke.
Okay.
And I'm talking about Luke at that when Luke was
at the height.
Luke.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah. 2 Live Crew Luke.
So to interview those people and to talk to him, because Luke was an incredible business person.
Right.
Talking to Luke, the stuff he was talking about,
right,
surprised me.
Wow.
Sean Paul on his first album, interviewing him.
Okay.
I think they only had one single out.
Right.
So to get a chance to talk to these people early on.
Right.
Erykah Badu, I don't even know if she had an album.
Before you, oh, wow. Okay.
So, I mean, it was a beautiful opportunity for me.
I'm sure. Wow. And you did all this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we were hearing all these different celebrities and whatever. And again, like I said, I think it's always cool when you're able to meet a celebrity or somebody that's doing something different than what you're doing, right? But at the same time, like, I don't know if you guys are catching it. Yo, he's still working as a teacher.
Getting up every morning.
You know what I'm saying? So you talk about hustling, he's getting after it, okay? You're talking about going to, mingle or shooting, videos or taking pictures and interviewing. And then, that stuff, especially if you're a hip hop artist or whatever, that stuff don't start till like 11, 12 or whatever o'clock you know what I'm saying? So then you got to get up in the morning?
Yes.
Wow.
So I was still coming to work.
Wow.
And it got to the point the kids like, who'd you hang out with last night?
Wow.
And this was before everyone had the cell phone.
So you wouldn't take no pictures, right?
So, I mean, I have some pictures.
Okay.
But I'd say this, if cell phones were what cell phones are today,
right.
I mean, at this point, I have hundreds. But I would have had probably thousands of pictures.
Wow.
Because you figure you're backstage at a show with 10 different artists.
Right.
You're there all night.
Right.
So think about the number of pictures you would have got.
That you would, yeah.
And once you get backstage, the artist assumes you've been vetted.
Right.
And you're safe.
That you're good, right.
So they don't hold back in front of you.
Right.
If they doing stuff they shouldn't do, they do it in front of you.
Right, I don't care.
If they want to say something,
they don't care.
If they want to go hang out later, they tell you.
Right.
So you're on a whole different level once you get backstage or once you're in the boardroom. Because sometimes you're at Sony and then they're like, well, let's go somewhere else.
Right.
So you leave Sony to do the real interview because one of the Sony's too stiff.
Too stiff. I got you. Because
their handlers are watching.
Right. I got you.
And once again, when you say you're a teacher, they start laughing.
Wow.
Because it's like, there's no way. And I'm like, I got to drive 2 hours to get back
Jersey.
to work. To get back to work.
So you was in New York constantly?
As much as I wanted to.
Okay.
As much as I wanted to, yeah.
Okay. So you hung out uptown in Harlem with Cam and them?
I was in Harlem 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I took my youngest son up to Harlem to study vegan.
Okay.
Cam was actually, I don't know where Cam was because the label set that up. But I was with Cam when Boy came out.
Yeah.
I was at the listening party before anyone else heard it.
Oh, okay.
And that's the night I met Damon Dash.
Damon Dash he's a lot of energy.
Dame came to me and
sure.
I using proper language.
Right.
I actually was trying to do beats.
Okay. Oh, you trying to make beats too?
Well, let me rephrase. I had people who made beats for me.
Okay, I got you.
And I approached Dame. Dame said, you don't want to deal with me because he used some words.
Right.
And he said, talk to Big Face over there. I didn't know who Big Face was.
Kanye.
Now you listen, no, Big Face is another dude.
Oh, really?
If you listen to Jay-Z, you keep hearing the name Big Face.
Okay.
It wasn't Kanye.
Oh.
It's another one. So
wow, I gotta look them up.
Big Face calls me up and we have a meeting with Jay-Z and Rockefeller to put tracks out.
Okay.
So my dude does a sample. I forget what it was.
Okay.
We go up there, they tell us to redo it. We want to sound like everybody else.
Sure, right. Sped up and whatever. Right. Pitched up.
Jay-Z drops the double album. My man that does the beats calls me up losing it. I'm at work teaching.
Right.
He's like, what time is your break? He meets me in the parking lot. The sample that we sent up there that they told us they didn't want, Jay-Z has on the album. So we couldn't do anything legally because it was a sample.
It was a sample.
And as you listen to Tribe Called Quest, you can't copyright your sample.
Right, you can't.
But Jay-Z used the same sample at the same speed. Everything.
Wow.
He put on his double album.
Wow. And you don't know the sample.
If I call the guy, he'll tell me.
Okay.
It was on the second album. I mean, because it was a double album.
Right.
So it was on side 2.
I got you.
Whatever that was.
I got you.
But I mean, man, my oldest son, he's named after the DJ from De La Soul.
Okay.
So I mean, this goes way back. His name is Maceo.
Maceo, yeah.
So I'm a
shout out De La Soul from Long Island.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Long Island.
I'm a true hip hop head.
Wow.
I tell people I love the music.
Absolutely.
Listen to the music. I still try to find the new artists that are out there.
Sure.
Because I don't believe it's all garbage. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And I told you last week I saw Karis won last week.
Karis won, yeah.
And
in Newark, yeah, I saw it. Okay, yeah. So you doing both. When did you say, you know what? Okay, I gotta focus on one. Okay, because it sounds like you had to make a choice.
No, I did not.
Oh,
so I was able to do both. I was thriving.
Okay.
I was having a ball. There's some small publications I don't talk about that I wrote the whole publication.
Wow. Okay.
Now I had different names in there.
Sure.
But I wrote all the publications.
Sure.
The entire publication. So 14 years ago, my oldest was born.
Okay.
15 in December. I had decided that as a father, I wanted to come home to my kids every night.
Oh.
So I said, if I keep doing this, and I was still coming home because I was going to work, but I don't want to be coming to the house 3, 4 o'clock at night.
Right.
I wanted to put my baby to bed at night.
Right, I got you.
I wanted to pour that little blankie up on her at night.
You wanted to be a father.
So, so about 14 years ago, I said, I'm going to have to slow down. But then I guess the next year or so, there was a crash in the economy, and that's when a lot of magazines went out.
Yeah.
So I attempted to come back a few times.
Okay.
But the magazines, like Source, is not Source anymore. Yeah. However, I am going to start writing again.
Okay.
In the next few months.
So just like your own publication.
I'm actually going to be writing for an Atlantic City publication.
Okay.
I do have stuff out. My name's not on it.
Okay.
Don't want my name on it.
Okay.
Different stuff. I'm going to try a different genre. But I am going to put out some books. I have one about moving overseas.
Okay.
Which I need to complete.
Okay.
And I have a fiction book, call it Thuggatry with Thugs, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
I always used to laugh at how those books that had thugs in them and loving.
Sure.
So thug loving books would be at the top selling list in the urban area. So I said, you know what? I'm putting me out a thug love book.
Right.
So I have a thug love book
that's gonna become
that I need to put out.
Wow.
That I've been working on for over 10 years. I just never had it edited and never finished the book.
Well, it's funny. I got a superb editor down in Atlantic City too.
Okay.
Shout out Lethal Red Pen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's like that. Yeah, and she's not that pricey like that either, but she's really good. So listen, man. You know, it's unfortunately I got to land the plane. That's unfortunate because I want to keep here. I may have to do a part 2. I mean, so you know, would that be okay? We do a part 2 at another point in time or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I still have a lot of questions. But I need to land this plane, though.
Yeah, because we need to talk more about Akinelli and Luke.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I want to get into depth about some things. Just because of, like, that to me, like, this is what I want to do is highlight people. I was talking to, I call him my nephew, but really, he's actually, I say he's my nephew. He's like my nephew or whatever, but he's really my baby mom's other son, right? Mm-hmm. And we were talking last night. And because he comes up here for camp and let him play ball and stuff like that. And we were talking last night, and I was telling him that, you know, asking him what he wants to do with his life, what he wants to do, blah 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 blah, right? And I said, you know what I want for you and for everyone is for them to be able to live their dream. You know what I'm saying? And I asked him if he ever heard of the expression that, if you find something that you love, you never work a day in your life. And he said he understood. So that is what I want for not only him, but I want it for everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because I'm a guidance counselor. That was my dream.
Yes.
Okay? So the fact that I was able to go to school and talk with kids, and now I'm coaching now. I'm an announcer. Like I'm living the dream, son. I can't even front. Like I love my job. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I look at you, and you're a person I could tell you've lived your dream somewhat. I'm not done. I mean, you're not done, and we're all not done. But you're on the road.
Yes.
I just thank God for that. That's what I'm saying, that you're on the road for that. And that is something that I think that we need to highlight, celebrate, and continue to just put out there, to be honest with you, because hearing those stories motivates others. I'm motivated. Just hearing your story, I was motivated. I'm 48. I'm motivated because I still dream every night. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what I kind of want. So hopefully we could get, we can get a part 2 and we, in some time or whatever. Okay. So listen, let me just land the plane. what are you doing now? You're currently a principal. Okay.
Yes.
How do you like doing that?
It's cool.
Okay. All right.
But you know what? It's not, because I tell people it's not the title.
Right.
It's helping children that I like.
Okay.
Not the title doesn't mean anything to me, and I don't mean that in disrespect to anybody.
Sure.
It's being able to help children.
Right.
It's being able to take a child who might have a bad life and to help that child.
Absolutely.
Kids used to tell me when I was teaching early on, you don't understand because you didn't grow up like us.
Right.
And I would say to them, I did not. I said, I grew a Cosby-ish TV show life.
Sure.
True story.
Right.
But I said, I want to help you to get you what you need so that you can wake up with a smile on your face.
Absolutely.
And be happy.
Absolutely.
And move forward, as you said, live that dream.
Live that dream.
Because so many kids, their wings get clipped.
They do.
And we wonder why we have these kids that are, or adults that are miserable.
Right.
Where you see the road rage, or you see the shootings and so forth. You've got a lot of miserable people that have never had a chance to fly.
Right.
I've had a chance to fly.
Right.
I'm going to fly whenever I want to fly.
Absolutely.
You know, and I tell people, as I said to you, I'm not done.
Right.
And even though I am where I am, age-wise, so forth in my career, I'm not done.
Right.
I'm already planning what I'm going to be doing vacation-wise next 2-3 years out.
Right. So you're a forward thinker.
Oh, definitely.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's where I think that kids, all types of kids, in all cultures, they need to understand that you can do whatever you want to do as long as you really want to do it.
That's true.
And that's the bottom line. Like you have to do, because and I'm just gonna say for me, like, so I'm always interested in, because we're in the same room, right? So I can learn from you, and hopefully and prayerfully you can learn from me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But we're in the same room. But when I hear your background, you come from scholars, you were a good, decent student. That's contrary to me. I was a poor student. So it's like, but you just understood what you had to do earlier than I did. You know what I'm saying?
Which is fine though.
Which is fine. No. It's about finding your stride.
True. And I'm going to say this because I know we got to land a plane. I tell my oldest son all the time, you might not be ready for this conversation Daddy's having with you today.
That's right.
And I said, I get it, because you shouldn't be ready for it at 14.
Right.
But I said 5 years, 6 years, 10 years down the line, you're going to understand it.
That's right.
And that's fine, because you might be a bad student in third grade and be in high school and graduate top of the class.
Right.
You might not be the best person at 20.
Right.
And be a hell of a guy at 30. I don't believe you can rush people.
No.
Because I don't think my parents could have rushed my maturity.
Sure.
I don't think I could have rushed my knowledge base.
Absolutely.
I got it when I needed to get it.
At the right time.
Could I wish I've gotten more business savvy? Yes. And some other things? Yes. But truthfully, you have to be there ready to receive it. Because if you can't receive it,
you can't. Right? Absolutely,
it goes right over.
Absolutely, and that's the point. Everything, and what I was saying to him, I call him my nephew, and what I've been saying even to my son, but even to myself though, because when I talk to you, I'm talking to myself too.
Yes.
Let me just be very clear.
Yes.
As a counselor,
yes.
when I talk to people, I'm talking to myself.
Yes.
Okay. Everything is God's speed. You know what I'm saying? So everything, so when I hear people say, like I was talking to my daughter last night, she's like, oh, well, I say, yo, listen, no, you got to understand it's not your time yet. But what you don't want to do though, is you don't want to wait for the moment to get ready for the moment.
Yes.
You want to get ready now for the moment.
Yes.
And that's where I think kids and even adults, like we struggle with that. So hopefully they can hear this and we can continue to, just put that message out there. Like, and that's part of the reason I think I told you, I shared with you, I really want to do this motivational speaking thing.
I think it's one big thing about the motivational speaking. I think it's important for people to see other people.
Right.
Because a lot of times when you see motivational speakers, it's that clean cut tie up tight.
Right, see?
And people like, he's always had it. Or she's up there with the business suit. She's always had it.
Right.
You need to see other people who have not always had it.
Right.
They just found it last week.
Absolutely.
And they're up here now sharing with you what they learned last week.
Right. What they say, they need to see the cracks. Yes. That's what I'm saying. I think people should expose their vulnerabilities.
Oh, I agree.
Because as you speak to them and you heal them, I feel like you become healed. And the more healed that you become, the more that you can heal.
Oh, I agree.
It's like a two-way street.
I agree.
God heals you, now you heal others.
Yes. You have to give back.
You got to do it.
You have to give back.
You got to do it. But listen, man, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
We're going to do a part 2.
This is fun for me.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Listen, we're going to do a part 2. I appreciate you. I hate to have to land the plan, but I got a photo shoot for my at 5:30 and I got to get ready. So I hate to have to do it, though, but I got to go, though. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching again our first episode of the Doc Brice Show. We're coming back with plenty more. If you want to know when we're coming on, I can't tell you that right now. So I have to fit it into all the other things that I'm doing right now. But we are going to be streamed on the Four Walls Foundation channel on Facebook. And we're coming soon to Instagram. We're definitely on YouTube as well. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm Doc Brice. That's Nathan Davis. We bid you farewell.